Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I try to stay away from stock market videos, but people have been asking me, Larry, we like the way you give your insight. You made a great video. Check out the last video where I said this is the best stock market advice you'll get. If you watch this video, I promise you, you will never lose money in the stock market ever again. All I ask is you drop me a like and a subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, you only lock in losses when you sell. And if you sell, that means you feel you shouldn't have bought it in the first place, and now you're panicking and you're selling. When you do it right the first time, you don't got to ever worry about selling anything ever again. I'm serious. Unless the business changes or the index fund changes, you don't got to worry about anything. The stock market is like the weather. Yesterday, it was about 65 degrees here in the Northeast. Now we got 40-degree weather and rain, okay? It changes every day. If you're constantly trying to catch the falling knife or the weather, you know what's going to happen? You're going to destroy your portfolio. Now, we got all the geniuses on social media. They are a ton of them. They're all making money. But the poverty level, the lack of resources in retirement, the lack of Social Security, the lack of 401ks, the lack of Roth IRAs, they don't lie. People are in severe debt and dire need of funds later on in life. You want to know why? Because when they're young, a lot of people have all the answers. I've been there. You're the most smartest person in the room. But the information that I give comes from literally the smartest people in the world, not even the room. When you say you can beat the market and you're saying on video that you're beating the market consistently, the proof is you're lying, because Warren Buffett made a bet, crushed people with that bet. He didn't crush day traders. He crushed some of your best investors on Wall Street of all time. You want to know why? Once you subtract the taxes they paid, the fees they paid, jumping in and out of the market, timing the market, he didn't do anything. He just invested in an S&P 500 index fund. It's not sexy. It's boring. You're not at the barbecue telling people what stock you're up 2,000%. You're up 2,000%, but what about every other stock you picked and sold for a loss? That's what they don't tell you, okay? That's what they don't tell you. When you buy great dividend stocks and you buy great index funds, you buy and hold until you're old. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't this retirement? Doesn't everybody talk about generational wealth? Doesn't everybody talk about retirement? Well, if it's for retirement and generational wealth, what does today matter? I'm 44. I don't need the money right now. I'm still working. My paycheck and living below my means is what takes care of me. I'm letting my money do what it's doing. I'm letting my index funds, I'm letting my dividend stocks compound and build and build and build and build. So many people worry about right now, my portfolio's up 2,000%. My portfolio's up 500%. My portfolio's up this percentage. But will you have that money when you're 65? Will your portfolio be up 2,000%? If it is, you are the best investor of all time. You're better than Robert Shiller. You're better than Warren Buffett. You're better than Jack Bogle. You're better than Charlie Munger and Peter Lynch. That means your portfolio, your Robinhood or whatever portfolio you got of the stocks you picked, beat the Magellan Fund. Peter Lynch was one of the best performing market managers, hedge fund managers of all time. What you're trying to say is you can beat Peter Lynch. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. You will never lose money. I'm telling you. I haven't lost any money in my dividend portfolio. I haven't lost any money in my 401k. I haven't lost any money in my Roth IRA. I'm not worried about it. There will always be a new president. There will always be a news channel telling a different story, arguing with the other news channel. There will always be a CEO saying his company's the best company. I don't worry about none of that crap, man. I buy companies that were on the shelves when I was little in the cart getting yelled at. Mommy, can I have that? No, you can't have that. I told you before we went in the store, don't you ask for nothing. But mommy, I want it. No, those are the companies I'm buying. I'm buying them right now. When I was a wee lad getting yelled at in the grocery store, they're still up there right now. And you can buy them now. Those are great dividend paying companies. If you are going to invest 10% of your overall net worth, that's what you buy. You don't buy something because the CEO is telling you how good his company is. Oh, but my company is going to be revolutionary. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And then you look at his bonus and he gave himself a $3 billion bonus because he sold shares. Come on, man. That's how people lose money. And then they panic and then they sell. And then you lock in that loss. I don't lock in losses because I don't buy anything I shouldn't have bought in the first place. Do your research on these companies. It's your money. Do what you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. Proven index funds, S&P 500, total stock market index fund, world market, emerging, international. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to throw bonds, if you want to throw a target date. But the main thing is you got to hold it long term. Like, you don't plant a seed, look at it, it doesn't grow right away, and then you dump the flower pot. You got to wait. People lose money because they don't have patience. If you have patience, your index fund will not only outperform your broke buddy next door, it will outperform some of the best hedge fund managers on Wall Street. And that is a fact. You think I'm lying? Look it up for yourself. Everybody loves AI agents and all this AI stuff. Look it up for yourself. And guess what? The majority of the people will do the opposite, even though the proof is in front of them. And this is why they don't have resources. Ladies and gentlemen, you can believe me if you want. It doesn't make a difference to me. Your future is going to be your future. But some of the best economists of all time, Benjamin Graham, who taught Warren Buffett, says index funds. I'm going to go against the guy who taught the best investor of all time. I'm going to go against Peter Lynch. I'm going to go against Jack Bogle. Jack Bogle invented the damn index funds for Vanguard. And I'm going to go against him. Nah. You see, the ability to understand you could be your worst enemy could be your greatest asset. Let me say that again. Understanding you can be your worst enemy when it comes to finances, you understanding that could be your greatest asset. I learned a long time ago during the dot-com crash. I got burned. WorldCom, Lucent Technologies, Tyco, all these high-flying tech companies that was supposed to make me rich and wealthy and I don't got to work my 9 to 5 ever again. I learned the hard way. Some people never learn. And to the people who do learn and you figure it out, best of luck to you. You got it. All the other people, they'll keep making us rich. Because guess what? Index fund investors and dividend investors, we make money regardless because we don't sell. It churns out capital gains in our portfolios. They pay us our divvies. Everybody else is just speculating. They need somebody else to buy that stock to drive up the price. What happens when you run out of people to buy that stock? If you made it this far, drop me a like, a subscribe. No regrets. Get it.